So if you click on this video, I assume you know what I'm referring to by 10,000 an hour. But if you don't, it's a reference to a study where about mastery, how are people mastering their craft. And one of the through line or how one of the common trait of people who mastered, I think it was an instrument in that case, is to spend 10,000 hour of deliberate practice. That's basically that. And it both and we cannot use it on the web to signify that, oh, if you, what matters is the volume, what matters is the amount of time you spend practicing the craft. And after 10,000 hour, you are a master, you're good, and that's it. That's very simplistic, and that's not actually true. I mean, it's not the whole story. That's the point of this video. What I want to um, what I want to stress is that this study showed something about deliberate practice. And what is deliberate practice? Because I will not go into the detail of what exactly it is, but what it isn't is mindless practice and mindless repetition, rather. And that's the point of this video and something I had to learn the hard way myself. Typically, for example, I'm an artist and I drew, started drawing quote unquote seriously a decade ago. So you might think, oh man, that's a long time to practice thing. But actually, a lot of it was doing mindless repetition. So, for example, mindlessly doodling. For example, when you are in school and you're just doodling to pass the time, you're not really practicing. Granted, you are drawing and like doing new things, etc. But actually, no, you're not doing new things. You're probably repeating the same type of drawings that you have, and just not getting out of your comfort zone, not getting really using references or doing things that push you forward. And it's not really, I didn't grow at all during this period when I was just doing things that I was comfortable with and that I was just mindlessly doing it. If you don't have this mindset of making actual efforts into it, it's just like doesn't matter exactly what you do, but as long as you are required to push and make effort towards something, that's getting closer to deliberate practice, making reflecting on your mistake, on what you're doing, make it being more conscious. That you can also see it like this. If you're doing mindless repetition, you're not really conscious of what you're doing. You're just going with the flow, etc. And that's what we want to avoid if we want to build real mastery in a craft. Really, the most of my progress when it's come to artistic ability were like done in a span of 2 years, uh, and because I was really pushing myself and trying to find new things to do. And for example, I was very afraid to draw backgrounds before, and I was never drawing them. I was just drawing my characters, and the character was like were like very the same amongst each other. I was really much stuck in my comfort zone. That's what people mean when they say get out of your comfort zone. I would say rather get out of the mindless repetition. You can stay with the subject, for example, and I think that's some nuance that is needs to be stressed. You can stay with the subject and always draw the same subject, but still get out of your comfort zone because you are practicing. Um, Trying to reach a goal and looking up if you are reaching that goal or not, either by doing some focused exercise, references, etc. So you have a lot of tools to do that. But as long as you are conscious and not mindless when it comes to your practice, you'll get somewhere. I really believe that you can spend 10,000 hour uh, doing anything and still be a beginner or not really having improved at all. So that's something I want to really stress about. I have another one. It's about language learning. For a while, I was turns out so I'm been learning Polish for 2 years now. Before that, I learned English. I was born French, and now I'm learning Polish. And for a while, I was wondering why I wasn't making any progress. Well, that's because I was just doing the bare minimum to keep up my streak, or I was doing the same thing every day, or the same type of activities. For example, just memorizing vocabulary with flashcard, and not really using it or seeing it in context. Turns out, if you do that, you're not really gonna progress very fast. You're you're probably gonna feel like you're stagnating because you're stagnating. if you're not like putting some of your mind to it, or like um, or actually at least doing like a good enough amount of volume to really push yourself, uh, it's not gonna be enough. You can spend 10,000 hours once again reading very basic stuff, and maybe you'll get somewhere, but it's gonna be very slow. You can get much further if you actually practice and put your mind to it. And the other one is about those kind of videos. And actually, that was so painful to realize. I've been doing daily videos for 2 months now, which I'm very happy about. And I really believe that and the goal was to improve my speaking, was to improve how I speak and how I'm presenting to the camera. And I think I improved a bit on that. But I realized that if I don't put a bit of effort on it, if I just, you know, go with the flow and press record and just start yapping. If I don't, for example, prepare my breathing, focus on that, focus on improving the way I stand, the way I feel grounded, for example, so that I can say what I want to say. If I don't prepare a little bit, if I don't, for example, sometimes I do multiple retake on the same video because I want the flow to be better. If I don't do that, if I don't do those deliberate practice, if I just do mindless repetition or going with the flow, I'm not improving. Or, at least you are stagnating, which is a slow decline in the end. So really, you need to uh, get out of your idea of the 10,000 hour. I don't think it's very useful as a metric. I have no idea how long I spent on my art, on language learning, or on those videos. But what I know is that if I keep pushing myself, meaning that I keep, producing something, evaluating how I'm doing, and finding new ways to make it better, being more conscious, and not just going with the flow, trying to do volume for volume. Well, you can go much further. That's my message for you today, because this was very painful for me to learn. I really believe that people say practice make perfect. So I was just practicing, but I didn't know how it was, what it required actually to do. Yeah, that's it for me for today. Thanks a lot. I hope the audio was all right despite me being outside today, touching some grass. I need to do that sometimes. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you tomorrow.